What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today I want to talk about 5 skills that would make you a better player in Black Desert, whether you're playing on PC or console. I think there's a lot of things, but I decided I wanted to pick 5 things that is universally helpful and things that you could start working on today. So number 1 being resource management. As we all know, there's a lot of items in the game, and probably confusing to new players looking at all this and being like, what do half of these things even do? So as you play the game, you kind of learn what things are and what to sell and what to keep. I think in general, it's probably a good thing to look at the price of the items. So for example, let me talk about a sap, for example, right? Usually when you look at items on the market, you can tell whether an item is probably worth keeping or worth selling based on, is it sold out on the market? If there's a lot of orders, that means people use them regularly, and it could be turned into an item that probably is worth more than what the base material is. So when in doubt, I would usually just say hold as much as you can. But if you see an item that has a lot of orders on it, chances are you could learn to craft an item that can profit a lot more, or it's used more for end game players. And yeah, but in terms of like enhancing materials, for example, usually you'll see them. And what you should look at, for example, this is something everyone uses at all times. Memfrags are upgrading. You look at the chart, whether you see the prices at an all-time high or an all-time low. Right now it's low because we had an event that basically boosted resources and life skilling. So if you see the price is low, generally you probably want to keep it and wait for it to hold and go up. So yeah, it's really dependent on the market. As we all know, Black Desert is an event-driven economy. That means whatever happens, if there's a life skill event, life skill materials go down. If there's a PvE grinding event with drops, those go down as well, and you hold it for later. But yeah, resource management is definitely something that's worth learning in this game. And the way you could check right now is just finding an item and what's the number of orders or how many are being listed on the market right now. So the next thing I want to talk about while we're on this topic of central market is learning the price of notable items. So we were talking about materials before, but in terms of PvE, PvP, and life skilling, we all have different gear we want to get in the end game. And so notable items that are like weapons, accessories are a little bit different. And I have a series called Window Shopping. Every month, we look at the trends. As of last month, for example, a Black Star item. This is something that everyone will probably see in this game just because it is a step in progression for literally everyone. And so what we look at is the trends for every month, and this chart is very helpful to look at. And learning the central market is actually just a good idea because obviously if you're buying, you want to buy it for the cheapest amount. If you're selling, you obviously want to get it for the most. So you see how there's a trend in there. So learning when to sell and when to buy is always a good thing. And usually when it comes to high value items, you kind of want to sell it on classes that don't have orders. That means someone wants it for that class, they pay more, most likely. But with that said, learning the central market and enhancing materials and just resource materials in general is probably the best thing to do. So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3 is picking a class you enjoy to learn in the long term. Now, as we all know, Black Desert has like 30 different classes, and it's probably difficult to find something you enjoy simply because there's a lot of choices compared to other MMOs and everything. However, what I would recommend doing is trying everything on seasonals, just because you get rewarded for actually playing on seasons, and it helps speed things up. And it helps you learn your class better just because you have to do beginner activities. And basically playing things on seasonal will help you learn the class at a basic level, and then I think playing something long term helps you master your class. And I think that people who have spent literally tens of thousands of hours on a class, even if it's not meta, will most likely do better than the average player who just chases the meta. And ultimately, there's a line between meta chasing and people who play things for fun. I personally think people should play whatever they want for fun, just because, you know, gaming is supposed to be fun in general. But you shouldn't chase the meta just because it just means that you are going to be re-rolling. That is expensive. And then at the same time, I've seen people burn out very quickly in this game just because, like, oh, your class got nerfed and you try something else, and then that gets nerfed later on too, and you're just like, you end up going back to the class that you enjoyed the most, even if it's not the best. For me, it's Dark Knight. I've played every class in this game, and, you know, I end up going back to Dark Knight most of the time, even though they just recently got nerfed. But yeah, it's good to try everything at once and then find something you really enjoy. I don't think following whatever's the meta at the time is particularly bad. I just think that you're going to burn out if you're playing something you don't like. That's about it. So next thing I want to talk about is finding a guild to work with. And, you know, as we all know, Black Desert is mostly a solo game. Like 95% of the time, you're going to be doing whatever you're doing, solo, PvEing, life skilling. But I think it's good to find a guild that will help you, and you could work with like-minded people. And of course, not only does joining a guild come with benefits like guild skills, you get passive stats and everything just by being in a guild, but like working with other people to help you improve slightly is always a good thing. Now, I understand that a lot of people just play games to, you know, chill and play solo, which I think is completely fine. At the end of the day, you do what you want, but you should join a guild at very minimum just for the extra stat bonuses over here. And of course, if you're trying to learn how to improve slightly, maybe learn a new combo for whatever you're doing, maybe a new life skill spot, you know, talking with other people definitely helps. And so, yeah, find a guild. It'll help you improve in one way or the other, no matter what you're doing. Just find the right guild for you. The best way to do that is go to this thing. You can search up guild rankings, and then you find a guild. You'll find all the guilds, and then you just click whatever. Just click them all, and then find a guild that, you know, does what you're doing, essentially. So the last thing I want to talk about is learning different grind spots or life skilling spots. So there's a lot of things to do. You should probably learn all the life skills eventually in the game. My advice has always been to work on one life skill or like a small pool of life skills at once, and then expand as you get the knowledge of the game. It just takes time to learn everything, and that also goes for grinding new spots. Like if you want to try higher end spots and grind different areas. So I know that a lot of people will recommend just go to this spot because it is the best one. While that is not necessarily a bad idea, I think it's good to at least learn everything at least once, just to say, oh, I've tried this. And then, you know, over the years, I've noticed that they have definitely buffed various spots and then nerfed various spots, usually just buffed it. But just to say you've known a spot before and then go back to it later on, you're just like, oh, I know these mechanics. So while everyone else is learning something for the first time, you kind of already have an idea of what the spot is, and then you're like above the curve, if that makes sense. So I think that's a good thing to learn. So when it comes to life skilling as well, just try different gather spots or just try different fishing spots and then see what works for you. And then if you're a PvPer, you know, try to match against people who play different classes so you could learn how other classes play as well. Not only do you learn multiple classes from when you're playing, but you know how to fight against other people, which is probably the hardest thing to do. There's a lot of classes in this game. You have to kind of know what animations look like, and yeah, that's just what makes you a good player, knowing a lot of knowledge of this game and finding out what things look like and what is protected, what isn't. And so yeah, that's a lot of that one. And with that said, that has been 5 things that I think would make someone a better player overall. It obviously just takes time, but if you're invested into this game, I think it's a good idea. Now, with that said, I have something to show you guys. So Pearl Abyss has given everyone a new outfit, the one that came out as of today. I believe it's this one, and it's basically for all classes. And what I like to do is showcase what it looks like. How does it die? Does it die well? And this one is the one that came out as of today, so we're gonna basically show you it. First impressions of this is it literally looks like the most generic thing I've ever seen. Does it even fit the Black Desert theme? Not really, but I mean, with the past recent ones, it is what it is, and it's just like your average outfit. So with that said, all the partners were able to get an outfit, and I wanted to show you what it is. We'll look at how it dies. Is it worth getting? So this is what it looks like by default. The male one looks a little bit different as well, so let me show you that one. Let's just pick one of these. Basically, the male one has a full-on t-shirt and a different color backpack. I actually like the backpack for this one by default a little bit more, whereas the female one is like a gray one. So yeah, with that said, this is what it looks like. If you don't have the hat, you just go back to whatever is normal. And most people who design their own characters, what I've noticed is people generally use a different kind of like hat, just simply because, you know, if you create your character that's not a default one, you picked what you like. So there's that. And then, so with that, that's what it looks like. And let's see how it dies as well. Let's see. Where's that button? That one. Okay, there it is. All right, let's see. Oh my god, that's so goofy. Dude, what is... Yeah, I just like forgot the button. Okay. Anyway, let's see. What does it look like with, if you have the value pack, you have all of these. All right, so the main t-shirt. Usually some things die really well, some things don't. I think by default, if you're just picking a t-shirt color, the best ones are like fabric style. If you're doing like armors and like normal outfits, you usually use metals, but I think for this one in particular, fabric and silky is probably the way to go. I personally would think the fabric one would probably look the best. And so, let's see, what does leather? This does not strike me as a leather outfit. Yeah, I think that Olvian dyes would probably work the best and make it look more natural. So let's pick that one. What else changes? Is this the... Okay, so this one is the collar. This one changes as well. You can change that. That's cool. The BDO sticker or whatever the thing on shirts and jeans are. Change that. What does that look like? That's a nice attention to detail, to be honest. Like this in particular. Is anyone gonna see it? Probably not, but it's a thing. Change your jean colors. I mean, most people just wear either 2 different kinds of jeans in real life. There's standard blue, dark blue, and, you know, sometimes like the khakis that are brown. But you change your jean colors. I'm just wildly curious on what... Yeah, dark blue looks nice, actually. If you're wild, you could look like a cheese stick or beige. Honestly, default looks just nice. It's fine. Everyone knows what jeans look like. All right, so next one is this one. What is this? Did that change? Oh, wait, hold on. Button. That is also nice attention to detail. Sticker on the side. This is the ornament. Very cool. What is this one? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not seeing what this one is. Oh, is it probably like... Let's find something that bright and stands out. Oh, it's the different like ornamental thing. Gotcha, I see. And then I assume this one was like the little button and then this thing. I see. Okay, cool. Oh, and then this one changes the backpack, which I think that's cool. You know, on the Pearl Best website, there's a store, right? You could buy merch and everything. If they sold like a backpack, I think that would be pretty awesome. All right, so the strap is changeable. This one is backpack color. This one is the strap of the backpack. And this one is like the color. So I think that's pretty cool. And then as for the gloves, I believe that's just the watch, right? Or the little thing over here. Yeah, so the back of the band, the watch cover, and I assume this is the watch itself. As expected, and then the color of your shoes. Those actually look kind of nice. Those are clean. So I assume these are shoelaces, the shoe color, and the bottom. But let's look at it just in case. Holy, that's bright, actually. Yep, as expected, like the inner, outer, and front. But with that said, that's pretty cool, actually. And then I assume the wig part, you could just change the color of that as expected. But what I'd recommend for all of you guys, obviously a personal preference, but I think for the default outfit, the fabric colors, the Olvian dye, Velian, basic are probably the nice ones. And then I would leave the metal ones to different ones. But yeah, this is what it looks like by default. And then you change based on whatever you like. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.